Another hidden detail lies in the costumes and settings. The uniforms we glimpse in the trailer are not generic. They match historical regiments from the Revolutionary War, signaling which battles may be shown this season. For fans of accuracy, this is exciting, but for fans of story, it's even more powerful. It hints that Jamie's journey will not just be personal, but tied directly into real moments of American history. The trailer is telling us that the Frasers won't be watching history from the sidelines. Oh, they'll be in the middle of it. We also get a quick shot of Brianna holding her child, while Roger stands protectively beside her. This moment feels like more than a family scene. For those who know the books, it could be foreshadowing the choices Brianna and Roger must make about where they belong, in the past or the future. The trailer doesn't answer that question, but the lingering focus on their family suggests that time travel may once again test them in ways they never expected. And then there's young Ian. His presence in the trailer is brief, but one detail stands out: the way he clutches a keepsake around his neck. Fans will recognize this as more than decoration. Ian has carried tokens that symbolize his ties to both Scotland and the Mohawk. This little detail could be a reminder that his identity and loyalties may become a central part of the story in the final season. Finally, there's the most haunting Easter egg of all: Claire's narration. Her words feel layered with double meaning, as though she's not just speaking about the war but about the end of her and Jamie's story. It almost feels like the trailer is breaking the fourth wall, acknowledging that this isn't only the end of a chapter for the characters, but the end of a journey for the audience too. That's what makes these small details so powerful. They aren't just clues, they're emotional farewells wrapped inside the trailer's imagery. The brilliance of this trailer lies in these Easter eggs. They're not just for fans to decode. They're reminders of how far the story has come, and subtle warnings of where it might end. Beyond the trailer itself, the biggest headline is simple yet heavy. Outlander Season 8 will be the final chapter of this epic journey. That fact alone shapes how fans are watching every frame of the trailer. Because it isn't just teasing another season, it's promising a conclusion to a story that has spanned decades, both on screen and in the hearts of viewers. The announcement turns every scene into a clue about how the writers plan to say goodbye. So, what do we know for certain? First, this final season will run for 10 episodes. That may sound shorter compared to earlier seasons, but it's intentional. It signals that the story is tightening, that every episode will carry weight, and that there will be no wasted time as the Frasers face their last battles. Shorter doesn't mean less. It means sharper, more focused, and more intense. The cast is another big piece of the puzzle. We know that Sam Heughan and Catriona Balfe return as Jamie and Claire, anchoring the story as they always have. Sophie Skelton and Richard Rankin also return as Brianna and Roger, continuing their arc of family and survival. John Bell is back as young Ian, a character who has grown more vital with each season, and his presence in the trailer suggests he'll play a decisive role in this final act. There are also whispers of new faces joining the cast, figures tied to the Revolutionary War who may either become allies or threats to the Frasers. Production-wise, the show has pulled out all the stops. Filming took place in Scotland, as always, but with expanded sets and larger battle scenes to capture the scope of the war. Fans who love the blend of romance and history can expect both to reach their peak this season. The creative team has hinted that while the Revolutionary War is the setting, the heart of the story will always remain with Jamie, Claire, and their family. What makes these updates feel different from previous seasons is the awareness that the end is near. The writers, cast, and producers have all spoken about wanting to give fans a true conclusion, something that feels faithful to Diana Gabaldon's vision, while also honoring the journey of the show itself. That means viewers should prepare for closure, answers to lingering questions, payoffs to long-built arcs, and perhaps even final goodbyes to beloved characters. This isn't just another season. It's the one that decides how Outlander will be remembered. Every confirmed detail, from the episode count to the returning cast, is a reminder that the story is building toward a finish meant to leave fans both heartbroken and satisfied. The beauty of the Outlander Season 8 trailer is that it doesn't give us full answers. It teases, it hints, and it leaves room for endless speculation. And as the final season approaches, fan theories are running wilder than ever. Every look between Jamie and Claire, every whispered line of dialogue, and every flash of battle feels like a puzzle piece pointing to possible endings. One of the biggest questions fans are asking is about Jamie's fate. For years, book readers and show-only viewers alike have wondered, will Jamie Fraser survive the war? The trailer shows him standing tall on the battlefield, yet his narration and silent glances toward Claire feel heavy with finality. Some fans believe this could foreshadow a heartbreaking sacrifice, Jamie giving his life to protect Claire and their family. Others argue the opposite, that Jamie, whose death has been foreshadowed countless times, will finally defy fate and live to see peace. The mystery is part of what keeps fans glued to every detail. Claire's journey invites speculation too. Her voiceover in the trailer almost feels like a farewell, layered with sorrow, as though she is preparing for an ending she cannot escape. Could this mean she will return to her own time? Or perhaps face a loss so great that her bond with Jamie is tested one final time? A popular fan theory suggests that Claire and Jamie's love story might not end in tragedy, but in transcendence. That time itself will bend for them, just as it always has. Brianna and Roger's storyline also sparks questions. The trailer shows them with their children, but it lingers on them in a way that feels purposeful. Many fans believe they'll once again be faced with the choice of staying in the past or using the stones to protect their family's future. Could Season 8 end with Brianna and Roger securing their children's safety in the modern world while saying a painful goodbye to Jamie and Claire? That bittersweet theory is gaining traction. And then there are the wilder theories. Some fans think the final season might reveal a deeper truth about time travel itself, why certain people can travel, and whether Jamie's connection to Claire runs deeper than anyone imagined. Could Jamie himself finally cross the stones in Season 8? It's unlikely, but the trailer's haunting tone leaves enough room for fans to dream about one last, impossible twist. What makes these theories so powerful is not whether they're right or wrong, but how they show the emotional investment fans still carry. The trailer doesn't just tease battles and farewells. It invites us to imagine, to hope, and to fear what the end will bring. And that's the magic of Outlander. It keeps us questioning destiny right up until the final moment. As the trailer fades, one thing becomes clear. Outlander Season 8 is not just another season. It is the last chapter of a story that has captured hearts for nearly a decade. Every glance, every whispered word, and every battle cry shown in the trailer carries the weight of goodbye. It's not just Jamie and Claire preparing for their final fight. It's all of us, the fans, preparing to let go of a journey that has spanned love, war, time, and destiny. This trailer reminds us why Outlander has always been more than just a show. It has given us characters who feel like family, romances that burn brighter than time itself, and stories that taught us about resilience, sacrifice, and hope. Now in this last season, all those themes converge. The Revolutionary War will shape nations, but it is the intimate choices of the Frasers, the choices about love, loyalty, and legacy, that will leave the deepest mark. And that's why this breakdown matters. Hidden inside these fleeting trailer moments are not just clues about plot, but emotional signals of how the writers plan to close this epic. Will Jamie and Claire's love conquer even fate? Will Brianna and Roger find peace in a world torn apart? Will young Ian step into a future of his own making? These questions linger, and they are exactly what makes this final season so impossible to ignore. For longtime fans, the trailer feels like both a gift and a challenge. It promises closure, but also asks us to brace ourselves for heartbreak. That's the dual magic of Outlander. It gives as much as it takes, leaving us both grateful and aching for more. And as we move closer to the premiere, one thing is certain. This final season will not go quietly. It will be bold, it will be emotional, and it will stay with us long after the credits roll. Now it's your turn. What did you see in the trailer that stood out to you? Do you believe Jamie and Claire will find peace together? Or is fate preparing one last cruel twist? Share your theories and hopes in the comments, because the conversation is just as much a part of this journey as the show itself. And if you want to keep uncovering every hidden clue and every update leading into the final season, make sure to subscribe and stay with us, because together, we'll experience every step of Outlander's unforgettable farewell. The Outlander Season 8 trailer isn't just another preview. It feels like a farewell letter to fans. Every frame carries weight. Every glance between characters hints at final choices. And the atmosphere tells us this story is heading toward an ending filled with heartbreak, sacrifice, and maybe even redemption. But what makes this trailer so powerful is how it hides clues within the drama, clues that only longtime fans can recognize. Let's break it down together. The trailer for Outlander Season 8 opens with an intensity that immediately sets the tone. This isn't a calm, reflective season. It's a storm waiting to break. We see flashes of wide landscapes, rolling clouds, and war drums in the background. These images aren't just for beauty. They are there to remind us of the scale of what's coming. The Revolutionary War isn't just a backdrop anymore. It's about to swallow the lives of every character we've followed for years. The first moments are powerful because they balance chaos and intimacy. We catch a glimpse of Jamie Fraser, his eyes sharper than ever, carrying the weight of battles ahead. His face tells us that the fight isn't just for survival, but for love, honor, and family. Claire appears beside him, strong and unshaken, yet the sadness in her voiceover hints at sacrifices they may not be ready to make. Together, they are the heart of the trailer, still bound by their love, but pulled in different directions by the storm around them. The pacing of the trailer jumps between war and family. On one side, there are shots of soldiers preparing for battle, muskets in hand, flags raised, and the sound of marching feet echoing like thunder. On the other, there are quiet, fragile moments. Claire tending to someone wounded, Brianna looking toward the horizon with Roger, and young Ian clutching his weapon, as if preparing for a fight he cannot avoid. These contrasts make the trailer feel alive, as if the show wants us to remember that while wars shape history, it's personal choices that shape destinies. One of the most striking things about the trailer is how it mixes fear and hope. The visuals suggest endings, but the narration teases possibilities. There's a clear message here. This is the end of one journey, but the love and bonds between these characters remain unbroken. The trailer doesn't give us answers, but it makes one promise. The story will not fade quietly. It will go out with the same fire that made Outlander unforgettable from the very beginning. What truly makes this trailer stand out is how it gives us intimate character moments, even in the middle of chaos. Each main character is shown in a way that reflects not only where they've been, but also where they might be heading in this final season. Let's start with Jamie and Claire, the heartbeat of the story. Jamie appears in several striking shots, and every one of them feels loaded with meaning. We see him on horseback, surrounded by soldiers, his face caught between determination and exhaustion. He is not just a fighter anymore, he is a leader carrying the weight of history. In another moment, he turns toward Claire, and the silence in that glance speaks louder than any line of dialogue. It's the look of a man who knows time is slipping away, and that his choices may cost him everything. This trailer doesn't just remind us of Jamie the warrior, it reminds us of Jamie the husband, the father, and the man torn between two futures, one written in history and one written in love. Claire's presence is equally commanding. The trailer shows her moving through camps, tending to the wounded, her hands stained with the price of war. But it also shows her moments of reflection, her eyes soft yet filled with questions. Claire has always been the healer, the time traveler, the one with knowledge beyond her era. But here, the trailer teases a Claire who knows that even with all her wisdom, she cannot stop destiny. Her narration in the trailer feels almost like a farewell, steady, calm, but layered with sorrow. It's as if she's bracing herself for the end while still fighting for every second she can hold on to. Then there's Brianna and Roger, whose storyline has always carried the balance of love and survival in a world that isn't truly theirs. We catch glimpses of them standing together, watching over their children, and their scenes feel like a reminder of why the story began in the first place. A family pulled apart and reshaped by time. Their expressions in the trailer are less about fear and more about determination, as if they've finally accepted that their fate is tied not only to their own choices, but to the larger tides of history. And finally, we cannot overlook young Ian. His moments are brief but powerful. We see him holding his weapon, standing at the edge of battle, his face hardened by experiences beyond his years. Ian has grown into more than just Jamie's nephew. He has become a symbol of resilience, of the next generation forced to carry scars of war while still searching for identity. His presence in the trailer suggests that his role in this final chapter will be more vital than many expect. Together, these character glimpses remind us why Outlander has never been just about time travel or battles. It has always been about people, about love, about choices, about family, and about the strength to endure the impossible. The trailer doesn't spell out their fates, but it gives us enough to feel the weight of what's to come. One of the most powerful threads running through this trailer is the shadow of the Revolutionary War. It isn't just a backdrop anymore. It's the storm swallowing every storyline. The trailer leans heavily on war imagery. Soldiers marching through mud, flags whipping in the wind, cannons firing in the distance. But what's striking is how these shots aren't just about spectacle. They are woven with meaning. Every drumbeat, every musket shot reminds us that the world the Frasers built at Fraser's Ridge is hanging by a thread. Jamie's role in this historical chaos is impossible to ignore. In one shot, he's seen riding with a group of men, his eyes locked forward as though he's leading them into a battle he already knows will be devastating. Historically, we know Jamie has always walked a fine line between his Scottish past and his American present. This trailer suggests that line is finally breaking. The Revolutionary War forces him to pick sides, not just for himself, but for everyone he loves. And the weight of that decision is written all over his face. Claire's connection to the war is shown in smaller, quieter details. She's not on the battlefield in the same way Jamie is, but the trailer reminds us that war finds her regardless. We see her moving through tents filled with wounded soldiers, her hands stained with blood, her voice steady even when her heart is breaking. These glimpses echo her early days as a nurse in World War II. But now the stakes are more personal. This war doesn't only threaten strangers, it threatens her home, her husband, and her children. The trailer also gives us quick flashes of key settings: battlefields, burning fields, and soldiers clashing at dawn. For viewers who know the books, these shots might hint at specific events yet to unfold. But even for those who don't, the message is clear. This war will not be distant or abstract. It will invade Fraser's Ridge, tearing apart the fragile peace that Jamie and Claire fought so hard to protect. What makes this historical context so unique is how Outlander treats it not just as history, but as destiny. Jamie and Claire already know the broad strokes of the future because of Claire's knowledge of history, but that knowledge has always been both a gift and a curse. In the trailer, the Revolutionary War feels inevitable, like a tidal wave that cannot be stopped. The tension isn't just about winning or losing battles. It's about whether love and family can survive when the world itself is tearing apart. This season, the Revolutionary War isn't just history being replayed. It's personal, it's intimate, and the trailer makes it clear. The war will decide not only the future of America, but the fate of the Frasers themselves. The Outlander Season 8 trailer doesn't just give us sweeping battles and emotional character moments. It hides smaller details that longtime fans will instantly recognize. These are the quiet clues, the symbolic touches, and the blink and you'll miss it moments that make the trailer so much more than just a preview. Let's uncover a few of the most striking ones. One of the most powerful images is the way light and shadow are used. Several shots of Jamie and Claire are framed with firelight flickering around them, sometimes from candles, other times from burning fields. Fire has always been a symbol in Outlander, destruction, but also rebirth. In earlier seasons, we saw fire tied to prophecy and fate, even linked to the dangers of time travel. Seeing it return here suggests that this final chapter will bring both endings and new beginnings, reminding us that history burns everything in its path, but also clears the way for what comes next.